Breaker Breaker 19. This is Soggy Boy, do you read me? Breaker Breaker, I read you, Soggy Boy. This is Foxy Rabbit coming in over the airwaves. Breaker Breaker 19, this is Kidwonder reporting in, over and out. Breaker Breaker, that's a 10-2. This is Papa Bear, we're headed home.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the second episode of Breaker Breaker 19, the comedy podcast founded by four fraternity brothers who have decided to subject the internet to the nonsense running through our crazy heads while mocking each other relentlessly in the process. We're not really sure why you're here, and we're not really sure how you found us, but damn it, we're sure glad you came. Remember, anything we say in the following episode shouldn't be taken too seriously, because at the end of the day, we're more than likely recording this in our underwear. I'm Kidwonder, better known as Zach.
And I'm Soggy Boy, better known as Josh.
And I'm Foxy Rabbit, better known as Drew.
And I'm Papa Bear, better known as Conor. And this is Breaker Breaker 19.
Last week, we found out that Drew wants to fuck Ronald McDonald and Leonardo da Vinci for power and prestige. This week, we're excited to talk about the saga between lethargic super dudes and Phi Kappa Tau. We had a little teaser, a little taste of it last week, and we decided to give it to you baby birds this week in full fashion. So we're going to be talking about that later on. We're pretty excited about that. Also, we're continuing on our weekly trivia challenge, our trivial dispute. Woo. Every single week. And just real quick, just so everyone knows the standings right now. At the top, with the most points, dripping baby juice on the chins of those below me. Fuck. Woo, boys. All right. Dripping baby juice on the chins of those below me. Zach with 2 points in the lead. And then we have Bear, Drew, and Josh all tied with a measly 1 point, half the points of the most victorious winner as of now. So.
I can't wait till you get shit on this week.
Yeah, but we're sports questions, so Zach doesn't get any points.
God damn it. Dear God. Don't do that. That's rude as hell. But that's what we've got for you. Those are two highlights of what we're going to be talking about today. We've got a lot more in store. So please stick around. Listen to what else we have to say. So let's go ahead and get started, boys. Drew, do you want to get us started off with blanks of the week?
Yeah. So this week we have dumbasses of the week. And it's for measles. The completely preventable disease is at an all-time high right now. Right? Since 2010. It's almost 10 times more. 10 times more since 2010. More cases. And it's completely preventable. Okay, for those of you who don't know what measles is, it's like a very contagious respiratory infection. It causes a total body skin rash and flu-like symptoms. It's a harmful virus that doesn't really have a treatment. So like once you get it, it's like hard to get rid of. And like I said, completely preventable. But people hashtag shots give you autism. I don't know.
Hashtag anti-vax.
Hashtag anti-vax. I don't know. People aren't getting it, and it's the dumbest thing.
Yeah. So it looks here. It's oh my God. Looking at the chart on this is actually insane, because if you look at 2016, there were 86 confirmed cases, 86 cases of measles in the United States. And that bitch has jumped up almost 10 times. With in 2019 alone, in the 5th month of 2019, that number's already at 764 confirmed cases of the measles. And that shit. Here's what it is. It's Darwin's law. At this point, it's literally Darwin's law. Like, imagine being God. If for this podcast, let's pretend he exists. Imagine being God. And then watching like, okay, well, I created fucking vaccines for this, but people are like, no, we're not going to use those. We rather literally watch our kids die. It's the most
I literally want this to
shit.
be called measles, the completely preventable disease. I want doctors when they're diagnosing their patients to say, oh yeah, looks like you have measles, the completely preventable disease.
Oh my God. But that, well, yeah, just like look at everyone disapprovingly. But here's the thing that frustrates me the most about it. The people who are getting the measles, a large majority of them are the people who are like immunocompromised, like people who can't actually get the vaccine. The children who are too young to get the vaccine, are coming down with it because children who are of the right age to get it and just don't believe in the vaccine aren't getting it. And so it's crazy.
I'm just really picturing the soccer mom driving the Tahoe right now with the short haircut. Just got done ripping a new one of the McDonald's manager to listen to this and just getting super heated.
Yeah, her name's Karen.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Karen, if you're listening, I want to know where the fuck you found this podcast.
Well, her
Where do you
kids,
get your haircuts?
her kids play in the dirt, and eat grass, so they're all good, and they're building up an immune system. They'll be all right. That's what she's thinking. My kids play outside; they're gonna be fine.
And rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. No,
That is
okay.
literally the thought. I'm just letting you know. That's what Carol's saying. I was just talking to her this week.
Would you guys date a girl who was anti-vaccine? But what if she was like fine? Like she was like a grade A honey.
Sure. Am I having kids with her?
Huh?
Am I having kids with her?
Not for long, obviously, but
Oh man.
woo boy!
We're starting off
And we're
strong.
It's a good one this week.
I would for sure, Zach. A grade honey.
Yeah.
A grade honey. Yeah,
Yeah.
A plus grade honey. Yeah.
I mean,
she
can
was,
you
She was great being
can
graded
it be
by
transferred
the USDA.
through dick?
What?
I mean,
you just asked if measles is an
Wait,
STD.
Right.
like,
then I don't see any worry here. You know, like
the way you phrase that is like either you have the measles or you're sleeping with a grade A honey who has a dick who's going to give you the measles. The way you phrase it, like, by the way,
wasn't a judgmental podcast.
it's not. If you're like, you're right. You know what? I also didn't necessarily confine that to girl. I just said grade A honey. You know, that's your thing.
Right.
By the way, I do not think measles is communicable via penis. So I
Right.
think, yeah.
Well,
I think
then I wouldn't have any issue with it. You know,
it's always like, can't catch it from my neighborhood wiener.
right.
Then I'm good.
Right. If I'm at the local glory hole, am I going to be?
Oh,
I want to
jeez.
make sure all my bases are covered.
Yeah, just for the measles.
Yeah.
That's really all I'm worried about here.
Oh, has everybody
Like,
in
you
this
knocked me-
establishment been tested for sexually transmitted measles?
Like, I haven't been tested for STDs, but I am measles free. Get over here, you leather-clad stud. Oh, good God.
All right, fuck
All right,
measles.
Zach.
Take us away somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Zach, what you got
Let's,
for us?
This week we've got the broke bitch of the week, and the story is just so funny. I saw it and I read it a few times, and it's a man who is ordered to pay $128,000 in
Jeez.
tolls and fines. $128,000 in tolls and
That's
fines.
like a quarter year salary for me.
After not paying tolls when crossing the... That went right over my head. Wow, I went right through that. $128,000 in tolls and fines after not paying tolls when crossing the Pennsylvania Turnpike over 2,200 times between the years of 2012 and 2017. I think, imagine how confident you get after not paying a single fucking toll on a turnpike for 5 years and just like driving past people like plebeians. Like, listen, like just thinking how woke you are, and then just like, but also like imagine that being what you get arrested for. Like, what are you in for? Like, I didn't pay a single toll for 5 years, and they racked those bitches all up.
How's he making it
See,
through?
What's crazy is I know whenever you go past a toll, they like scan your license plate and send it to your like wherever you have your license plate addressed to. So how do you like?
He
Did he
spent
not get them?
$128,000 on new license plates. True.
Nice. There you go. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Holy no, he wasn't ordered to. Wait a second. So it looks like he had to pay over $11,500 and was sentenced to 5 years probation. So he racked up fines and tolls worth $128,000.
Oh, okay.
And it was ordered to pay in court $11,500. That's turning a profit. Good. Why am I paying tolls? That is insane.
Nice.
Like the cop pulls you over, like, listen, man, don't worry, I'm not gonna pay it. You're like, oh, I'm gonna settle in court.
I have a 70% off coupon.
Oh,
The
man.
funniest part, the commission began pursuing felony charges against toll scofflaws who owed $2,000 or more, and so there is a group of people out there who owe multiple thousands of dollars to the state because they just don't pay the toll.
It's people living in the future, Zach.
Man. Man, dude, they're living in fucking 3,000. I'm out here like a plebeian, still
Paying
digging
for the
change.
nice roads, yeah.
Yeah, still digging change out of my like. They're like, how much is a toll? 150. I'm like, I have 4 quarters, some lint, and a real good smile for you, lady. Please, dear God, let me get to work. Oh shit! All right, Josh, do you want to bring us into the philosophy question for the week?
Yeah, absolutely. So, this week in philosophy, we took a little bit of a turn away from our normal sexual philosophy questions.
Those aren't intentional, by the way. Those are just what we think. We all agree on those. We're like, yeah, that's fucking funny.
Well, this week, we have a little bit more of a serious one, I guess. It's not really serious, but the question is how much do you tip an alpha waiter, if at all? Now,
So-
this one kind of hit home for me just because...
I swear to God, if you tell me you have a fucking job as a waiter, I'm going
Yeah.
to snap.
I'm
I swear to God, I'm going to fucking snap.
So, every time I go out to eat with my wife, we have this debate. And so I'm really
Okay,
interested to see
thank God.
what you guys have to say about it.
I
So
want
I need-
to
so-
start
okay,
this
let's
off
take a
real
turn.
quick.
Yeah,
Hang
take
on.
turns.
How many of you guys have been a waiter?
I have been a waiter and I've waited tables before. I've
I
worked
have
in food and waited
Delivered.
tables before.
I've been a delivery guy, so I've worked for tips before, but not
Not
Yeah.
like a
True.
question, but okay.
I mean, I've been a delivery guy.
Okay,
And I've
so
helped cook
only
food, but that's
me
it.
and Zach have been in the food and beverage.
Yeah, I have waited tables and worked in food and bev before. Yes, correct.
Right.
So I'd probably have a different stance on this than a lot of people.
That's exactly my thought. So I thought we'd put a basis down for that because that does make a difference in your opinion. I think so.
But you guys have, Drew and Josh, you guys have both still done a service for expected tips,
for
correct?
tips, yeah.
exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, understood.
So, for me personally, I base it off of how often my glass is empty. If I'm waiting there the whole time and my glass is empty, they are getting maybe a 10% tip. But if my glass is always full, then I'm tipping 25 every time.
Just that?
I'm
That's a really simple metric, though. I feel like it would be a little bit more complex than that. But you're
So,
like,
Nope.
for
I
me-
would just
drop my food.
Having known that, I would just drop off a water pitcher at your table
Exactly. I mean, that's literally all it takes to make me happy.
and
but they
never
don't
get
know
your
that.
food in on time.
This bitch dropped my food,
dude.
called my mama hoe, but
Right.
she kept my water full the entire
Yeah.
time.
I'm
$7
serious,
tip.
bro. Dude, we've had people like drop our food twice, and it wasn't a big deal because my water was always full.
Because I was
they still-
hydrated the entire
Yeah.
time.
Hell yeah.
That's ridiculous.
So for me, the way I picture it is I know it's not exactly the way it works, but in my head, I'm paying you for your service, right? I'm giving you money because you waited on me, filled my glass, gave me food, blah, 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 blah. The same way, whenever my grass gets tall, I pay a guy $30 to come out and cut my grass.
You need a new grass guy. That's exorbitant.
So if this
Super.
guy comes out and he cuts one stripe down my yard and then leaves, am I still expected to pay him what I was supposed to pay him? And so if I have a waiter,
very
if I have
different
a,
analogies here, man.
Well,
yeah, is there
also,
a
if I have a
waiter only
waiter-
coming out and filling up water and saying, "All right, I hope you had a good one," you know? Like,
exactly. So if the waiter
That's a horrible
does
metaphor.
if the waiter comes out and brings me my water, and then my water is empty the rest of the night because she just disappeared, and someone else has to bring me my food because she just disappeared, then she comes back at the end of the night to bring me the check. I don't feel obligated to tip her because she didn't do her job for me.
What restaurant are you all at that only serves glasses of water?
I've been wondering
It's
that
just
too.
it's a lot. It's just a lot easier to say, my Dr. Pepper
Welcome,
or
welcome
whatever.
to
My
Waters.
drink.
What can I get you?
I'll have a water, ma'am.
Welcome to H2O. What do you
I
guys
mean, but like, how much do they control? Like, all they can do is literally refill your water. Everything else is subject
I mean,
to
they bring
them.
you the food if you need a side of ranch.
And if they're
That's-
taking
that's
the
what I'm
wrong
saying.
order, oh, did you not want onions? Did you want mayo?
Well,
like, how good of a listener
so-
are you? You know, like that's what being a waiter is. You're literally just transferring a message from the front of the house to the back of the house.
it's all about
And
providing.
a lot of
Exactly.
it for me is about attitude too. So
No,
if I have
of
a waiter
course.
I
who
agree.
like
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
just say like they're new, like they've only been doing this for a couple weeks. They're not, but they have a good attitude and they're smiling and they're being polite and be like, hey, sorry,
Yeah.
I forgot. It's not a big deal. Whatever.
Or if they're
Like,
new,
you're
they
being-
just say like, "Hey, I'm new. Like, I'm still learning." Like, I
Exactly.
love that shit. Like, tell me. Like,
But if I have somebody who's like I go to the Red Lobster a lot because it's right across from my street, or right across from my work. So I go up there and sit at the bar and just get some clam chowder for lunch. And so I know a lot of the waiting staff there.
yeah.
And so I'll see a person there that will just come up, bring me my drink, bring me a thing of biscuits, and then disappear and then take my order 15, 20 minutes later.
Mhm.
Like there's 2 people in this restaurant. Why did it take 15 minutes to take my order? I'm not giving you.
I
a
understand.
tip.
I understand.
If at all. Like I said, if at all.
So I have a quite a few different things that tally up as to how much this person's getting tipped. One of the most important things, and it's all on me. One of the most important things to me is how much time am I spending at this restaurant? You know, how long am I taking up a spot in their section? Is this a 2 hour? I'm getting drinks with somebody, then we're ordering some food. You know, because then you're taking up real estate and you're taking up money and you're pretty much pulling
potential future tips for them.
Right.
If your table is empty, correct.
So I'm tipping higher if I'm there for a long time. I think that's absurd just off of price too. Like if I got like lobster tails or something, and I was there for a short time because I'm going to see a movie with the lady or something like that. You know, like. If I'm in and out, I mean, you're still going to get a decent tip, but it might not be at that 20%, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I feel that. I've done that before, too. I've sat at Ballpark Village for a couple of hours with my buddies.
Yeah.
And, like, we took up this table for, like, 3 hours, so I tripled my tip.
Right.
You know, I was like, listen, I sat here for longer, so I'm going to give you extra because I took up other reels, like you said. So that I get that.
So one thing we've got to talk about is if you tip based on the food getting your kitchen, if you tip low because the food gets your kitchen out slow and the waitress can't do anything about it, your mother is a hoe.
Yeah.
That's what
I was making the point of earlier.
I need to put that out there because there's nothing more frustrating than like waiting tables and having a table like, hey, where's my food? I'm like, I'm so sorry. The kitchen's super backed up. You know, I'll get you some rolls. I'll suck your dick. I'll fucking rub in between your toes. Like,
but see that's awesome. Like if the kitchen's taking forever and my waiter comes up to me and says, "Hey, kitchen's taking super long. Is there anything I can get you meantime?" That's a great waiter. They're getting a great tip. It's not their fault that the kitchen sucks.
But there's a big disconnect there. I think a lot of people just don't realize that, and so like me getting stiffed on like a fucking $90 tab because the kitchen kitchen brought the fucking steak out wrong. Like I rang it as medium rare. Like, and I think there's a lot of things like I don't know. I think tipping based on like it's weird because like some people want to tip on the quality of the food or tip on the speed of the food when you have to realize like you're really tipping for like the service you get, the speed of the service that the waitress can control. Like,
so did you guys not split tips with your cook staff? I know that's a thing that some places do.
No,
I never split tips.
I've never heard of any place doing that.
I've heard of it. I've heard of a tip pool going out for bussers and dishwashers.
Yeah, that is definitely. Yeah, I've never heard a cook doing.
Yeah, I've never heard of a cook.
Maybe I'm confusing it too. I'm not familiar with it.
You could.
On a normal restaurant, what you would do is you would tip out to bussers and bartenders.
Yeah, sure.
Because bartenders are making all the drinks and the bussers are cleaning up the tables and prepping them up for your next. So everybody who has a hand in the front of the house service of your customer gets a tip basically on it.
Because cooks are also paid usually a hour. I don't want to say I don't use it as a blanket statement because it might not always be true. But usually you'll see cooks, like especially in nicer places, getting higher hourly rate than waiters and like busboys, dishwashers, shit like that. We tip pulled bussers and we tip pulled dishwasher. The one dishwasher, Mirko. It's a drunk Bosnian dude, but.
Well, also as a server, you're getting paid like per table. As a cook, you're not getting paid per plate.
No, yeah, you're getting paid per hour.
You know?
Like you're getting the same amount of money shift out there. So
right.
Well, my basically what I'm saying is if you're a bad waiter with a good attitude, you're still getting your 10%. If you're such a bad waiter that someone else is coming up to the table to take care of me, I'm not tipping.
Wow, you're generous. If you fuck up my shit and I have a horrible time, or if I'm pissed off, it's a horrible service, I will just round you up off of my total.
Yeah, up to the nearest dollar?
No. Like, so if I'm... I mean, you could luck out with it if I'm...
Yeah.
If I'm charged, let's say, like, $33, you're going to get a $7 tip, and I'm going to put it 40. You know, just easy math for me on it. You know?
Yeah,
you could luck out, you could get 25% out of it, you could get 5% out of it. You know, it's just whatever's convenient for me at that point because I've had a horrible experience.
I do that too. I round up. But usually, I mean, so it also depends. Okay, so here's another caveat. Am I on a date with a honey? Because if I'm on a date with a honey, I want to tip more. I want to impress the girl, so I will tip even if the service isn't. So if it was just me, I'd tip a little bit lower. But if I'm with like a honey, I want her to think that I'm fucking OG Moneybag.
True enough.
So I'm almost
certain.
Go ahead.
I'm almost certain that's how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain that's how those stories where like the people get like $1,000 tips, shit like that.
Yes.
Like, they is with the girl, bro.
Yes.
Like just trying
He's
to
with
roll
the honey.
out.
Like, look how much disposable income I have. I'm gonna make this. Yeah. No, if I'm with a girl, or especially like on a first date or something, I will absolutely tip higher. Usually 25%, and then I'll make a big charade about like putting it down at a place where she can see, because I want her to see how much it costs, and I want her to see how much I fucking left as a tip. They're like, oh, this guy treats waitstaff great, and then I go into a big dialogue like, oh, I used to wait tables, like I know what it's like to, and just be I'm telling you, I'm being genuine. Fuck you, it's genuine.
Yeah, I'm genuinely just trying to get into your pants.
I try to never let the date see the check.
Yeah,
Really?
I'm with you on that.
It depends on how often we've been dating, what date it's on, how much it was, and where we're at. I mean, it's all like if we're at Joe's Crab Shack and Honey got a steam pot and I got a steam pot, bruh,
Yeah.
like $66 check. What is that? Is that a $15 tip? How generous of you, you naughty rascal. Yeah, absolutely I do. But if we're at McDonald's, I'm not, I'm also not tipping at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I flick some pennies to the window. This is for you, dog. Oh,
Keep the change.
Keep the change, baby. Don't call me baby, sir.
If I'm at McDonald's with Carol and her unvaccinated kid wants some McNuggets, I'm tipping heavy.
I'm tipping heavy. Tipping that little child out the fucking car before he gives me measles.
All right. You guys want to move on to Touche or Douche, my favorite segment?
It looks like Josh is starting us off with Touche or Douche this week.
It's a little jabs order.
Perfect. All right,
Jabs
this one. I feel like this one's really gonna hit home for you guys. All right, you ready? Touche or Douche. This year on my taxes, I filed with 7 W-2s.
Oh, that's so true. That's so true. God, that is so fucking true.
So is it only 7, or is it more, or is it less?
Oh my god. Okay, so every job you have, so if you like work a job for 2 weeks and then quit, that's a fucking W-2 you have to file at the end of the year.
Even if you work there for 1 day,
dude, there is no fucking telling.
I'm gonna say 9.
I think that's low.
I say 9.
I think it's low.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I think it's
but
low.
I definitely think it's true. I dedefinitely think 7's the right number.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man,
my heart's telling me 11, but
because it's just like every fucking time I mention something, like, oh yeah, my cousin got a job at the baboon butt-eating factory. He's like, I used to pick up shifts there on the weekend. Like, shut up, John. Let me tell an anecdotal story without you telling me your career. Oh, good lord. I'm gonna say it's false. I'm gonna say it's between 8 and 10. I think it's high.
So I think
it's lower than 7.
Josh, I think you've told me this personally, so I'm almost certain it's exactly 7.
So it was 7.
Oh, okay. Can you please, for all God, please just name all 7 of them?
Okay, so first one, Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Fuck.
Gonna be awesome.
CSX Railroad, Madison Fire Department, Fairmont City Fire Department, Guitar Center, Offenburg.
Please say bamboo. Please, the baboon. Please say the baboon.
The baboon butt-eating factory.
One more, let me think of it.
Oh,
fuck.
The baboon butt-eating factory.
Band name, called it.
Oh man, there's one more I can't remember. I can't think.
You can't remember it, so it's 6.
No, it is 7. It is 7 because we filed a total of 8. We filed a total of 8, but one of those was Kelsey's.
Oh, she only had one job.
Yeah, she's had 2 jobs in her lifetime.
What's your wife do?
She is a manager at the local Culver's.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Did she bring home cheese curds for you?
No, I had to go to her, but it's
wow!
See if you can get her on at the baboon butt eating factory.
Yeah, dude, they're looking for girls this time of year.
They definitely get tipped over 20% there. That's for
sure.
Dude.
They are definitely in their own tip pool. Yeah, own tip pool. All right, So,
So
Josh, it is true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is true.
True.
Seven
Seven.
W-2s last year. And like I said, that the reason why you're thinking it's higher is because I've had plenty of side hustles where I've gotten paid cash.
Oh.
You know, like the bar. You know, I get
Yeah,
paid $50
gotcha.
a night. So, no one share this video with or this podcast with the IRS, please. All right, what you
Bear?
got for us, Bear?
Well, I'm confused. Andrew, did you eat paint chips or live under a power line or close to a nuclear power plant? Like,
Only
why
when
you
I was
all
hungry,
fucked up
really.
then? Okay. So when I was a kid, I was going to Disney World. I'm just going to tell you the story, and then you can decide if I'm lying. When I was a kid, I went to Disney World with my entire extended family, and I met Carrot Top in the airport, and he gave me an autograph.
That's got to be true. Why would you lie about that? If that's what you lie about, I think you're an actual psychopath, because that's the weirdest thing to ever lie about. Like, that's the weirdest superlative to like brag about. Like, oh, I got Carrot Top's autograph, like on purpose, or do you like?
Yeah, there's
you come across it on
a
the
million
ground?
people you could have said you gotta.
Mhm.
Because so many people go. to
Oh,
Disney
but now
World.
he's fucking with my head. Maybe. Oh, what if he picked the perfect person? Fuck! Oh, I have no idea. Oh,
I would say
dear
it's
God.
true, just because that's a weird
Oh.
flex, but okay, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's true. If it's false, then you pick the oddest celebrity fucking flex about. Drew, what do you think?
I think you saw Carrot Top for sure.
Yeah, I did, and it was legit.
Okay.
I met him in the airport.
Ooh.
Yeah, And
Yeah,
this,
it was
this
cool.
This was Carrot Top before the roids.
Oh,
yeah.
back when he was like not like
Uh-huh.
super jacked, like oh
Yeah.
okay. I expected Barry to be like, not only is it true, but I have it framed, and I love Carrot Top. we are pen pals.
Yeah, we still right.
I'm in his fan club, the Carrot Seeds. I wonder when Carrot Top ejaculates when having sex with a woman. I wonder if he says, "Oh, these are my carrot seeds."
Oh jeez.
Yo, Phil me.
And I don't
What-
know.
what could I-
Is everybody in this podcast kept up with Carrot Top's physique? Does everybody know he's roiding like hella hard?
He's like,
No,
Jacked
I've
as
not
fuck,
seen
dude.
anything.
So
Yeah.
for
Is it like
Drew,
Arnold
for Drew
Schwarzenegger?
and
like-
listeners, take a minute, give it a pause, and look up
Yeah.
Carrot Top now because
If you
he
haven't
is
yet.
massive.
if you haven't Googled Carrot Top 2019 in the last year, like 90% of the human population, 99.9% of the human population, you need to take a second to do that because he is. It's like Chris Hemsworth became a redheaded prop comic.
There's two people
Oh,
in this world that have
shit!
changed. It's Carrot
Yeah.
Top and Sandy
Oh, dude,
Sosa.
he's fucking swole.
Yo, I'm telling you, dude. He fucking-
Dude.
yeah, he's now Beef Boy. He's no longer Carrot
Yeah.
Top.
Oh jeez.
His middle name is
Carrot Cake,
Beef
bro.
Top. Carrot Cake. Fuck. Oh, you go.
that's great.
Okay.
All right, Zach. Touche or douche?
I have once shit my pants intentionally so I didn't have to get out of line.
Huh?
What?
I have once. So instead of getting out of line to
Tell
go
us
take
the
a shit
story.
somewhere-
Tell us the story so we
Yeah.
can further understand this.
So when I was 7. So okay, do you guys remember how Target used to have like the game consoles set up with like the demos, so you could like play video games at like Target?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and already tell you. I know this story, and I know whether or not it's true. Just starting off with that.
Okay.
But go ahead and tell this story, because you've told me this twice before.
Have I? It's
Yes.
a great story. It's
Yes,
a great
it
story.
is.
I don't. But I don't. But okay. So some parts of it might be changed. So Bear can't tell you whether or not this part is actually true.
Okay.
So Target used to have the game demos that are hung up on the wall and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember specifically they had like the brand new MLB game on the old PlayStation. This was like the first time it was like MLB, like I swear it's like 2003. I was maybe even like 2002, like 2001. It was so long ago. I was like 7 or 8 at the time. I was super young.
Mm-hmm.
And so the other game consoles were broken. So the only game console they had was the PlayStation. Well, I didn't have a PlayStation at home. I just had an N64. So the only place I ever got to play PlayStation at was at Target when my mom went to shop. So my mom would take me to Target, And I'd be like, all right, this is bitch. And I'd just deuce out and I'd go and I'd play video games the entire time. I'd play the same demo baseball game for like an hour and a half, for as long as she let me stay there. And by the way, you can only play like 4 innings of the game. You can only play with the same 2 teams. Like, it's a very, very small snapshot of the game, but I would play it for hours because I never got to play the PlayStation. Well, this one day, the other consoles are broken. So all the kids have their attention on the PlayStation, and a line has developed for the PlayStation. Well, other kids, so there's not really anyone governing how much time you can and can't spend there. So it's basically whenever a kid's parents comes by and pulls them off of it, or whenever he gets done playing on his own, that's
Or
when
if
the
he
next
has to go
person in line
take a
goes
shit.
up. Or if they have to go take a shit or go to the bathroom, they go to the bathroom. But they're not
Normal
big brain.
kids.
They're not big brain like your beautiful big booper bashing baby boy over here. So I remember I'm like third in line to play. I'm like third in line to get on the PlayStation, and I start to get a rumble in my tummy, and feel me. So the person in line, and I remember I'm third in line, and I have a decision because there are about 4 or 5 kids in line behind me now. And I'm like, if I get out of line to go take a shit, I will not be able to play. I will wait in line the entire time. My mom's going to want to have to leave before I can even play. So I had to make a decision. And so I still haven't shit my pants yet. The kid who's on it now, there's me, third in line, the kid in front of me, and the kid who's actually playing. The kid in front of me, his mom comes and gets him. He throws a big bitch face. He's like, Mom, I want to keep playing. She's like, no, Christopher, we have to leave. And I'm like, yes, Christopher, get the fuck out of here, bitch. Your time's done. Like, Christopher, I'm like, it's almost my turn. So the kid in front of me, he gets up and he's playing. And now it is like, make it or break it. I either leave line or I shit my pants. So you know what I do? I make the conscious decision to just shit my pants. So instead of leaving line to go to the bathroom, by the way, I can see the restroom sign from the line because it's in the back of the store. It's right by the restroom, so I can see the placard that has the man on it for the men's restroom. I can see the fucking placard, and I made the decision not to walk. I don't know. I could throw a stone from there. I make a decision not to go in there and shit, and I decide to just shit my pants in line. So,
Was it
at this point, there's
diarrhea?
like. No, it was solid. It was solid. It was a nice solid shit. So I flew under the radar for a little bit with this too. But
What were you wearing, shorts or pants? Do you
I was
remember?
wearing pants. I was wearing a black
Okay.
Tasmanian Devil. I was wearing a black Tasmanian Devil T-shirt. I was wearing blue jeans and I was wearing light up Skechers. I'll never forget this because I remember looking down at my shoes like, what have I done?
You have me fully convinced that you.
And I looked down at my shoes like, what have I
touche.
done?
Touche.
So the kid in front of me is still playing. I shit my pants. There are 6 kids behind me in line. And as soon as I shit my pants, everyone starts to get a little unsettled because you can fucking smell it. You can smell you can smell when a 7-year-old who's standing 2 feet away from you can smell when they physically shit in their pants. It's so bad.
Oh, I wonder
Everyone in line behind me leaves. The kid in front of me is like, oh my god. And he fucking leaves too. So I have successfully shit my pants and driven away everyone else away from the PlayStation. And as soon as I get on the I'm playing PlayStation for maybe 3 minutes. And my mom comes around the corner like, Zach, it's time to go. And I was like, oh my god, what do I tell my mom? And I'm like, Mom, can I just play a little bit longer? And she's like, no, Zach, we have to leave now. We have to meet your father for dinner. Mom, we can't leave right now. Why not? I shit my pants while I have the PlayStation controller in my hand. I'm still playing MLB.
Did you say shit as a little kid? Did you press
No, I'm like,
shit?
Mom, I had an accident, my pants. Apparently I sounded like Bobcat Goldthwait as a 7-year-old, but yeah, so that story is absolutely 100% true. I did intentionally shit my pants.
Does your mother know this?
And I don't think she knows. I think she inferred it. When your kid says, "Hey, I shit my pants," while he's playing PlayStation,
Right.
you have to realize some real bad math or some real poor decision making came into play there. But yeah, that's absolutely true. I've absolutely shit my pants intentionally, so I didn't have to get out of line, and I only got to play PlayStation for maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, I ended up having to leave. So
You could have been that spokesperson for their marketing campaign of, well, I'll ship my pants. Ship my pants. But
I was like,
could have
what?
just
I was
you
like,
doing
what
the fucking
fuck are you
potty
talking about,
dance.
Drew?
Have you ever heard of that? Maybe
I have.
there's not very many Targets around where we live now, but back home it's a big thing. I'll ship my pants.
Good God. No, but yep, touche, absolute touche. And I've told that story before several times. So I'm a bit upset that I actually told it to Bear because I kind of wish he could have heard it for the first time. But yep, that's where it is.
Oh, that's 2 pants shitting stories in 2 weeks. So we're doing good here, boys.
Yep. Who's next?
Oh, that's right. Josh told a story about shitting his pants as an adult. Well, your story's way weirder.
And last week, Garrison told us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I pissed on it. Well, yeah. Okay.
We have a real problem here, Breaker
Yeah.
19. We're all actually recording this on a toilet as we speak. All right.
Okay.
All right. Josh, you want to start us off on Trivial Dispute?
Yeah, so we're going to move back to our trivial dispute. Like Zach said earlier, he's at -2 points, and the rest of us are at 1.
You! I'm the winner!
Didn't you get a half point for last week?
No, you guys are fucking with me. And I know you're fucking with me. Because I'm the only one who seems to give a fuck about the law. And we don't do half points. There's no reason. No half points. Whole integers only.
Okay, so
Integers.
All right,
Integers.
Derek's got 2. Everybody else got 1.
Integers.
Let's hit it.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
so this week I'm doing pop culture, more specifically Tom Cruise.
Thank you for giving me a subgenre.
In the movie Top Gun, what is the first and last name of Tom Cruise's character?
I don't know. It's
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
Goose? Is he Goose or Maverick? I don't fucking know.
Goose is his nickname. Maverick is his last name. I don't know what his fucking first name is though. Oh my
John
God.
Maverick.
I'm gonna go with John Maverick. That's
I'm going to go with Hank Maverick.
Maverick is just his nickname. His actual name is Pete Mitchell.
Oh, fuck off.
Oh, come on.
That's good.
Come on.
That's good. I should know that. I've seen that movie like 8 times.
Yeah,
I've never
if
seen
you
it.
haven't watched this movie blasting on surround sound, you're really not American. So, what do you got for us, Drew?
All right. What year did we establish our system of government?
1776.
1783.
1775.
Hint, the year George Washington was elected.
Fuck that. Okay, 1776. I don't know.
Does that help anybody?
No.
1777.
That's a harder
I'm
question.
going a year after we got our independence. 1777.
Yeah, I guess 1777. Yeah.
No. So it was actually 1770 or 1787 is when that happened. That's
See,
when
I knew it was in the 80s. I knew
Yeah.
it, and I second guessed
So-
myself.
that was when we sat
Yeah,
down
anyway.
and did the Articles of Confederation and talked about how we're going to set up our government and elected George Washington and all that shit.
Got you.
The running
All that-
theme for my
all that
questions
shit.
is going to be stuff that they ask people trying to immigrate to our country.
That's so funny. That's so because I'm gonna get them all wrong.
Yeah.
God. Okay, Bear.
Hang on one sec. I'm bringing mine up. I have it written down. Okay. Who was the first pinch hitter to score a home run in World Series play?
Hank Aaron.
That's not a bad guess.
Can
Poppy.
we get a year?
Nope.
No,
If he would have given you a year, he would have said it in the fucking question.
I'll,
Josh.
I'll,
I don't know.
I'll give you a
any-
small hint while you're searching this. Him and I
Is he black?
birthday, and no, he is white.
Him and you
The-
share what?
The
I'm
same
sorry, you cut out.
birthday.
Yeah.
Same birthday? That doesn't help me. I
Fuck.
don't know when your
I don't
birthday
know when
is.
your birthday is.
Um,
Well, dude, Bear feels real important now.
We're about to hit
I'm
like 15
not.
seconds.
I'm not giving an answer. Just yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and give us your answer. I don't think any of us
Ortiz,
actually know.
David Ortiz.
Yogi
sure.
Berra.
Oh, I
Got
don't
you.
know him.
I'm not. I'm
You
not
don't
a
know
baseball
who
buff.
Yogi Berra
Yeah,
is?
neither am I.
I don't.
No.
I know who Yogi Bear is.
Hell yeah.
Dude, it's the most winningest catcher in baseball history.
I know
Played for
who
the New
Yogi
York
Bear
Yankees.
is. Yeah.
Damn it, Zach knows and I don't. Oh man.
What do you mean? You don't know who
Shit.
fucking Yogi
He's
Bear
won like
is?
11 World Series.
Yeah, he's actually if you were like I don't know 90% of
Zach,
baseball players that
I don't
ever
know if you
existed.
remember the first week we did this, but I asked about the number 3 jersey and you said Michael Jordan. So
Okay, my answer still stands. I still don't know what jersey number he wears. 3 is Michael Jordan is just as good of a guess as LaDainian Tomlinson. I don't know any of their numbers.
all right, Zach, what's your question?
What European country hasn't fought a war since 1814?
Switzerland.
What?
What European country has not fought a war since 1814? Josh said
Since
Switzerland.
1814?
1814. Hasn't fought a war since 1814. Josh said Switzerland.
Oh, my God.
Netherlands.
Okay, we have Switzerland, the Netherlands.
Man, what is like... I guess Iceland? I don't know.
The answer is actually Sweden.
Oh.
Sweden.
I wanted to
Oh,
say
you're
Finland.
Josh.
Right next door.
No, dude, they're
Damn.
aggressive bastards. They've been fighting for centuries.
How long has Switzerland been a neutral country then?
Fuck, I don't know.
That's
not the question.
why
That's not the
they're
question I
my
looked
guess. It's because Switzerland's been like neutral for.
All I know is
last
that Sweden has not fought a war since 1814, and that's as much.
What was the
background
war?
as I
Did they say what the war was?
That's
No.
not, I don't know that. You don't
1814.
get that.
The
The
war,
war,
of
the
1814.
Swedish War of 1814. That one. You remember that one? The bloodiest war of all of Sweden's history.
So bloody they never fought again. Who lives in Sweden? Does anybody?
Swedish people and Swedish fish,
Oh, I guess that's where all the hot girls
really
go,
tall
right?
blonde chicks with braids.
and the
Nice.
Swedish chef from Sesame Street. He also lives there. Harpa, harpa, harpa.
All right.
All right, Josh, is your second question?
Yep. My second question is.
So far, no one has got a single point. By the
Yeah,
way,
we all suck.
because we all hate the other people.
I accidentally asked my harder question
make it
first,
as hard as
so you
possible.
guys should be a little better on my next one. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay.
All
I
right.
don't even remember what question you asked.
Yogi Berra, bitch.
Same theme.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Except this time is what was the name of Tom Cruise's character in Risky Business?
God,
I
I've
haven't
never
seen
seen
it
that.
either.
What?
I will.
It's such a classic.
Can we get a hint? Can we get a hint?
Underwear.
Everybody else been getting hints.
Sliding underwear man.
Give me initials. Can you give me initials?
JG.
Okay. John Jingleheimer Schmidt. no.
I knew it was going there.
Jingleheimer with a G. Joseph Goebbels.
Do you have?
I'll go with John Goebbels. I like
that's your
Goebbels.
Drew.
That's a good one. John Goebbels.
You got
You
one,
know,
Drew?
you know who Goebbels is,
Sure.
by the way? Okay.
John Gary.
It's Joel Goodson.
Mm,
Oh man, I almost got that one.
right.
I
were all
picked like
close.
pretty classic ones, so I thought it would have been fair, but you know, I guess you guys
All
are
right.
cultured swine.
Yeah, that's
go ahead,
all.
Andrew.
That's all we are, swine. Who hosted the first modern Olympic
Fuck,
Games?
that whole question just cut out on me.
Rome.
I didn't hear that.
Who firsted?
Are you talking like as in like country?
Who hosted the first modern Olympic Games? Yes, I'm talking about country.
I'm gonna say Rome.
Germany?
I'm gonna go with Greece. I'm gonna say it went back to its origins for the first one.
Oh, dude, you were so close, Zach. It was Greece, Athens, Greece, the summer of 1896.
Fuck.
The motherfucking USA won 11 gold medals, including we
God
blow
damn it.
people out of the water in you could bring your own pistols, right? So each country got to use their own pistols, and by that time we were like really proficient at making guns. So we had
You know-
the
you know
best
what's- why you know what's
firearms
really
by
horrible
a
is-
large margin.
No,
Is that
is
Josh got
that
a
my
point?
question that I was going to ask earlier was what year was the modern Olympics held? So thanks a lot, Drew.
I
You're
think
welcome, bro.
if we made countries come prepared with the best thing their country can bring, that would be hilarious. Like Venezuela, like Venezuela on the ice luge on a rubber mat, like rubber mat, and they're using halved coconuts for helmets.
Don't worry.
Oh.
Don't worry, boys.
Talk about underdogs.
Yeah, good God. All
We're
right,
gonna go ahead and update this point board really quick.
God damn it.
Oh wait, we still got time to go.
Yeah.
Don't you be updating it just yet.
In what country
There, all right, what's
did
your second
table
question?
tennis, aka a ping pong, originate?
China.
Japan.
The answer is good old England.
Oh! We were so off.
I was just thinking of the Balls of Fury ping pong movie.
Yeah, you guys were all real quick to hop on the Asian countries.
Well,
Just because they're
have
good
you seen
at
them
it doesn't
play,
mean
bro?
they invented it.
Okay.
All right, Zach. Last question. My chance to take the lead.
Now he's gonna change his question.
Yeah.
Where are Bugattis made? Like the Bugatti car,
country?
where are they made?
Like, we just looking for country or cities?
Yeah, the country. What country are Bugattis made in?
Italy.
Italy.
I'm gonna have to go Italy too,
I
but
really think
I'm
it's
almost.
wrong.
It could be the U.S. because I
It's
know one of
definitely
them
not
made
the US.
tractors.
I think it
I
could
know
be England,
one of
but
those
I'm still going
foreign
to stick
cars
with
started off
Italy.
making.
I'm gonna stick
Yeah,
with Italy.
Italy.
But I'm like 90% sure it's wrong.
Red, black, and gold is their logo. The bull.
Where is the Bugatti? Where are Bugattis made?
We don't all get to guess
Oh.
again, right? So we've all answered.
No. Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Drew answered. Okay, they were actually made in France.
France. Damn it.
France. So you guys are really close. The founder was born in Italy, but they've always been made in France.
I knew it was wrong. I knew it was somewhere
Fun
else.
fact.
I just, damn it.
Who started off making tractors?
Yes.
Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
That's right.
Yeah. Lamborghini. So.
No! Tied!
Okay. Sorry, bitch. All right. So overall standings.
That was
Zach
a really
and
bad
Josh.
week.
Zach
We
and
don't
Yeah,
need
we
Josh.
did awful.
standings. Yeah, we get
Are
it.
still
Josh went up
dripping.
1 point.
The standings for this week. Zach and Josh are both tied with 2 points. Bear and Drew are both tied with half. The
We're not
points
doing
of
half
Zach and
points.
Josh, so,
He said
half
half,
of the- oh my-
of the points.
oh dear God, I don't have a You guys are gonna give me fucking palpitations. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Bring in Florida news.
Yeah, moving on, man.
All right, so this week for Florida news, so there's this woman in Florida, presumably. She got married to first an airplane, then a train, and these all broke down. That's why she had to get rid of them or divorce them, I guess. And then finally, she fell in love with an amusement park ride, a Ferris wheel that she named Bruce. Right?
What a fucking awful name.
Now this is 28 years ago or so, right? And so 25 years ago, so 3 years after they fell in love, it got decommissioned and sent off someplace she had no clue where it went. And then one day, 25 years later, her friend calls her and says, "Hey, I think I found Bruce." And so she drives. It's like 3,000 miles to go see Bruce again, and she bought him a ring and all that shit, and it was love at first sight, just like they were those 25 years ago.
I'm confused.
Oh my
28
God.
years ago,
Yep,
you
busting away in a
couldn't have a
scrapyard
gay
some
marriage, but you
3,000
could get
miles
married
away.
to a Ferris wheel, a plane, and a train.
Not only
Anything
could you,
flies in
it's-
Florida.
And like divorce was so stigmatized, but you could marry and divorce planes,
Right.
trains, and automobiles. Except not someone of a different color.
Oh man, that
What?
is, and it said her whole family was like really, really Christian. So they like ostracized her and
Good.
a whole bunch
You
of
mean to
crazy
tell
stuff.
me a Catholic
They
priest
don't even have to
didn't
be
marry
Christian.
them?
They're like,
I now pronounce
Oh
you
man,
wife and amusement park section piece thing.
The most fucked up
3,000
part about
miles
all
away.
this, a small group of friends celebrated the renewal ceremony with a bottle of champagne.
I think you missed. I think you
friends.
skipped over a very important part of this thing, and it says that she became the conductor to get closer to the locomotive. And in quotes, it says, "I was seen in a romantic embrace with the train." And
No, that's
subsequently
dipping
I
your
was
pen in
fired."
the company ink.
Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Oh man!
To put it in perspective, from Louisville, Kentucky to San Francisco is only 2,300
Jesus.
miles.
Well, it's for love, dude, you know?
So let's look at
Oh yeah!
New York
And I
City.
would do anything for love.
Anything for love.
So how do you even drive fucking 3,000 miles in the U.S.? Because New York City to San Francisco is 2,900 miles.
What if it got shipped to like Canada or some shit?
Portland, Maine to San Francisco.
But she went all the
She
way
was
to
in
that's-
Florida.
right?
It's the
Yeah.
Florida
Oh, she's in
news.
Florida. Okay, that would make sense. So like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh duh, go me.
I just like that she was so committed that she became
Yeah.
a carny, so she could
From
travel around
Maya-
with it.
From Miami, Florida to San Francisco, California is 3,042
Do you think she
miles.
talks
Can
to
you-
the-
Oh my god!
Do you think
I
she
wouldn't
talks to
drive
the
that
train
for
or the
anyone.
airplane, like on the side, you know, like, and the Ferris wheel is like, damn, you still, I see you like texting them and shit. Like, you think she,
Every now and then she keeps her user. She keeps
I just got
the user
so many
manuals under her
frequent
bed.
flyer
Well,
miles.
when she says, "I was carrying pizza to him,"
Oh god! Imagine like making rings for someone. Like, oh, I'm getting this ring for my new husband Bruce. Like, oh, what is
Just-
he? A Ferris wheel. Bitch, get out my store.
well, she has another quote saying, "I was carrying pizza to him. Bruce smells pizza, and there's love of his life returning to him." Like she's saying that this car, this Ferris wheel, whatever, smells the pizza that she's bringing to him.
she like,
And I can't
she
find a
watches
woman who
Thomas
pissed on me
the
if I was
Train
on fire.
porn.
This is. Oh my god!
Oh man.
God.
Oh jeez.
I wonder, does she get turned on by seeing other Ferris wheels? Like, what if it's a bigger
Ooh.
Ferris wheel? Is that like more
Ooh.
attractive to her? Oh, ooh, with a plot
Drama.
thickens. Oh wait, there's a video link here. Oh dear God.
Yeah.
I want to see what this woman looks like because
She looks like
I'm gonna grab a beer. You guys talk
Oh, there's no
amongst
video
yourselves
of her.
about
It's
this
just-
crazy bitch.
I think it's about time to move on. Actually.
yeah, I can't talk anymore about this crazy.
Yeah,
woman.
she's
Goodness.
clinically insane.
Goodness.
And there's no update to her. I searched
I've been
feverishly,
looking.
yeah,
been
for the
trying to
last
see what
week,
she's up
trying
to
to figure
these
out
days.
what this girl's been up to, but I could not find anything about her.
Man, she's been scarce, dude. Her and Bruce are just living their own life, man.
Have you guys seen the
They just wanna
video
be-
or like the shows where they do like My Strange Addictions and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm.
There's one episode where they did an episode on a guy who was in love with his pool inflatables.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he had like 6 of them, and he just like would cuddle with them and be around them all the time, and you know do stuff with them, and that's I guess it's like gotta
But
be.
what
something.
happens if one pops?
Oh, dude, I can't even imagine the turmoil he has to that person goes through. Like, not
That's,
my orca.
it's a legit.
Goodness.
Not the
Maybe
dollar
he's
store
excited. Maybe he's
popsicle.
like, new hole.
Oh no.
Oh,
Hey, but,
Zach,
it is like
you
a legit
dirty dog.
thing where people fall in love and marry inanimate objects. So there used to be a TV show about a chick who like traveled all the way to Germany to find the love of her life, aka like a skyscraper in like Berlin. And she's dude, and she's like, it's just so straight and the
Yeah, I
edges
saw
and the
that. Yeah,
curves and it's just so tall and strong. She's at the base of this building with her face on it, just stroking the building. And there's a security guard watching, like eating a banana. Like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna go ahead and, for the record, if any of you guys get married to an inanimate object and want me to be your best man, you should just go ahead and ask somebody else because I will not be at that.
Oh no! If any of you guys want to marry an inanimate object and you need a best man, I will officiate. I will best man. I will do anything you want me to. I will dress as a fucking fairy and dance around in the background as long as I get to be there. Absolutely. Absolutely. No, dude. I don't even have to. We don't have to be that close. No, we don't.
Anybody who's listening.
Literally anybody's like, yo, I'm gonna go marry this tank at the local VFW. I'm like, I'm fucking there with bells on for you, my dude. Do not worry. You will not have to go it alone, man. You've got a friend in me, my dude. Whew. Good Lord, absolutely.
So I've never been offered to go to a wedding of that sorts, but I was offered once to go to a cult wedding where they dug out a moat in a big circle. And everybody stood in the moat, and there was this inner circle in the middle of it where they got married.
So you went?
No. They were just describing they were just describing the whole ceremony to me. I declined their offer respectfully.
I thought you were about to be like, yeah, it's a great time, man.
So what they did is they sat in the middle of the moat, like in this inner circle, and then everybody stood around in here with their bare feet, and then they drained blood into it, and everybody's feet was washed by the blood while they were married at night on a full moon, and this weird thing.
Yeah, that is weird.
That's probably the strangest invitation I've ever received.
How close were you to the person who invited you?
The offer.
Yeah. This is my uncle.
No, we hung out once a week playing Magic the Gathering. At our,
that's not surprising.
At our local nerd store.
Where you used to pick up weekend shifts at.
Yeah. I did work there a little bit, but not.
God damn it! It's not even funny anymore.
Any official capacity.
God,
what is up?
Oh man.
Okay, so guys,
All
I've been waiting all week to hear about Lethargic Super Dudes versus Vital. I've literally been thinking about it all week long, so I cannot wait to hear this story.
Before we get into it, I think what we need to do is respectfully, I'll let you tell your side.
Absolutely not. I want complete madness.
And I'll tell my side without you interrupting me, and then we can discuss.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah. I will. We will be fucking each other's stories up.
Okay.
That's the only way to get to the bottom of this thing, man.
All right, Josh, you go first.
So,
wrong.
The full story is that Vital had a party at a house. LSD had a show at this house at this party.
You want to explain what LSD is?
Lethargic Super Dudes. It's a band. Look them up on Spotify. They're super famous.
Really famous.
So basically, what went down is people were expecting payments or some kind of compensation that other people were not expecting to give, and it created chaos. But the party was a success. Everybody had a great time. Everybody got drunk. It was fun.
That's his version of the story.
That's the only version of the fucking story.
Are you done yet?
Well, I know. I know
ready?
what Bear and Drew are going to say, so I'm just going to let them get their shit out.
Yeah, first off,
All right,
let's
go ahead,
start
buckle
this off
yourself in, boys.
from the
Bear,
beginning.
you want to start us off?
Okay.
I'll interject too.
So me and Drew had started a fundraising committee / little okay, sure, Josh. Yeah, you were in it too. Great. We started a fundraising committee within the fraternity, aka let's raise some fucking money and actually act like a business, and then we can turn that money over and we can start to have parties and pay for stuff and make money off those parties and pay for more parties and more stuff, So
like alcohol.
We were trying to start the basis for this, and this was going to be the party we were going to do it. So we're buying this keg and $10 from all the fraternity brothers to get us started to buy the keg. And all the brothers who had paid $10 would be able to drink off of it for free. And then I can't remember how much we were selling a cup or whatnot, Drew. I don't know if you remember that. But we were also selling a keg and we were selling hooch next to it. Yeah. So
it was on the $10 for unlimited.
We're going to do this party and we're going to do it at the house where some fraternity brothers live at. Actually, I think the whole house was fraternity brothers at that time. But either way, that's not important to the story. So we're going to that house, and a few of those guys actually happen to be in the band. And like, hey, we would love to play a show there. And I'm sorry. Is this the interjecting? Or are you going to let me talk? Okay,
our show was planned. Yep,
I was quiet for your entire thing.
You said we could interject, so it's happening. The show for LSD's Lethargic Super Dudes planned a house show on the 28th before that. And two of the people that lived in that house and provided the venue were members of the band. So, It was LSD
Josh was
LSD's event.
Josh
first.
was in LSD.
I was, yes.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know this, Josh is one of the members of
I
the
really
band
don't know
in
how to
question.
continue from that.
That's it.
So we had
Okay,
planned to do
continue
this
there, go
party,
ahead.
and there were people in the house who were part of the band that were like, "Hey, we would like to play for that party. You got a bunch of people coming for alcohol and partying. That's what they're coming for, not to come see some fucking high school bands. We would love to play that show." So we're like, "Okay, that's all right."
No, 100%.
So
no.
up next,
Half
I
the
guess
people
we're going to
at
talk
that
about
party
something
came
else.
for the band.
I just can't help but being ejected, so I
So,
can't tell this
and-
story.
So
I thought you were telling your half
It's
wrong
'cause you're-
too. I
it's 'cause you're
let
telling a very
you say your
one-sided
shit.
story.
Why don't you let me talk?
You had your fucking chance,
No.
and you saved like
I
three
just
lines.
I just gave the objective version of the story, not from my side or your side. All right, I'll let you talk.
What?
Go
No,
ahead. Sorry,
yeah,
no,
we
no,
wanted
go
your
ahead.
side.
So they're like,
You had
"Yo,
your
we
turn.
want to have
There.
that house
Please,
show,
go
blah
for it.
blah blah, or whatever." We both picked the same day, or we hopped on. It doesn't matter. But they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna play," and we got like. Now, Josh, you can tell me this number. How many bands coming to play with us for that night? 4 bands, including LSD.
There was what 4 bands?
Okay, four, yeah,
I don't
4
know
to
if it was
5 bands,
including
whatever,
or
with
one more. but-
3 to 4 to 5 people in each band. You do the math, okay? And those people are coming in from out of town, and oh yeah, these people are from Texas, and they're just driving through, and they need gas money to get through, and blah blah blah. I'm not finding any of this information out until that night, and I will tell you, I took care of just about everything for that party. I had a bunch of pledges come in, clean up the house that none of us, the pledges, nor I had lived in, including you, Josh, at the time.
Associates.
Clean up the house, prep it up for the party, and arrange everything, make up the hooch, prep up the keg, which ended up getting thrown on my foot and almost breaking my toe that night, but that's a whole nother thing. So we have everything ready to go. We're rocking
I
and rolling,
remember
and then I find out that these dudes are coming in, and they all expect to get paid. Cash money.
yeah, and
Drink
not
for
only
free.
paid, but they were also told that they were allowed to drink for free.
I don't
Uh-huh,
think anybody was
yes.
expecting to get paid.
No, it was 100% people expecting to get paid. I remember
No,
that's what the
'cause-
original
because
argument was. And then we're like,
we
all we
played-
have is beer. Like,
Basically,
that's all we
everybody
can
that
pay
played
you
at
in.
that house show was part of a group of people who played at a bunch
It's
of house shows
interesting.
around
It's
Marin, and no one
interesting
ever
you
got paid
saying
any
that
of those.
nobody was
if
expecting to
anybody
get
told
paid
you
when
they
you
were
were
expecting to
one
get paid,
of the
that's a lie.
people, Josh, who were expecting to be paid because you LSD, the band I was in,
LSD?
bro, you were expecting to get paid.
Yeah.
You guys were asking. I had Matt Martin. I love the guy to death. One of my best friends of all time. Great fraternity brother. And all this shit is hashed out and in the past. But this dude was following me around after his part of the show, like the whole night. Like, how much money did you make? And I'm like, I don't know, man. We're like 2 hours in. Like, I don't know. Like, I haven't counted it all up. We're still making money. We're just pretty much getting started. This is like a 6-hour thing. I was like, oh, okay. He was following me around. I mean, yeah.
Matt
He was fucked up,
extremely
but
intoxicated
asking me
that
for
night.
money the whole fucking time.
He came up to me. He came up to me during our
Yep.
set, and he's like, "Josh, do you remember the words to my song?" Because he couldn't remember because he was so drunk. But there was 4 bands. Of those 4 bands, 2 of them had, like, a lot of the bands had people that like played in multiple bands. So it wasn't 20 people. It was
No,
maybe
absolutely
a group
not.
of like 8 people.
No. How many
wanted to
people
drink
were
for
in
free.
LSD?
No, absolutely not.
Yes, there was one.
There was
band-
8 people
there
in
was one
LSD
band-
alone.
This dude's trying to
There was
tell me
one
there's
band.
4 bands and 8
LSD
people.
was
Get
all
the fuck
fraternity
out of here,
brothers
dude.
Listen,
Oh
listen,
my god.
LSD.
dude.
They
That's
just
absurd.
was-
pass the instruments to the left.
LSD was completely comprised of
Did you pay for the
fraternity
keg?
brothers who paid for the keg anyway.
Did Gabe pay for the keg?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I don't
probably
remember
paid, like,
Gabe
20
being
bucks for
part of the
keg.
fraternity, but I
I
think he
was
was
all
your
aboard.
lead guitarist.
Gabe?
I don't know. I could be wrong, Josh. Maybe I'm mixing up my facts. But I seem to remember.
Wasn't he the sing-
Oh, so Gabe was in the fraternity. My apologies.
Wasn't
You
he the
are
singer, though?
100%.
Right. I remember him pledging.
for a little bit?
Yeah, for a little bit.
So,
Mhm.
so
So basically,
there are a lot
end of
people in
story.
there. There's one band that only had 2
the
people in it.
sum up of this whole thing is there were a bunch of people expecting free beer, and we couldn't supply it because this was just specifically supposed to be a money thing just to get the fraternity started, not for most of the people in the fraternity, the majority of the fraternity, this was supposed to be a financial thing where we're going to make money and be able to provide alcohol and have further parties in the future. Money off of those two. So, what was the question?
So how much money did you guys pay out? Total money.
Dude, that was so long ago. We didn't. We paid.
Bear knows.
I paid out
zero
to one
because we
band,
didn't-
and I
How much money
let
did you pay
all
out
the
to
other
bands?
bands drink. I let all the bands drink for free, and I paid out to one band because I was haggled for that money for 2 straight weeks, nonstop, and friendships were being destroyed over it. Over
out-
$20.
Yes.
$27.
Okay, when you say the fraternity
how much
made,
money? Like,
how
I mean,
much
I know,
money?
like when you take away how much,
maybe $40.
Listen, I understand.
Yes.
Like, I understand you have to take back.
Yes.
No way. We paid
Yeah.
what? We paid
Yes.
what? How much for the keg? $140.
In profit, we made $40 profit. In
Right, and
revenue,
don't
we
forget,
made revenue.
all
but
that
that's,
hooch with
you can't just
with
go
all
solely
that
based off of
fucking
revenue.
alcohol,
Because if our cost,
fruit and mixer and all that stuff too.
yeah.
Moral of the story.
The moral of the story is don't do business
Find
with
Lethargic
family.
Super Dudes on Spotify.
All right, take us somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yes.
By the way, all
Yes,
this is
that's what it
squashed.
is.
It's over. It's done, and I don't
Yes.
really care anymore. And turns out, down the road, that money ended
Yeah.
up getting lost or stolen anyway.
Guys.
So
Uh-oh.
By
wonder
supposedly
by
one of the members
who?
from the band.
I wonder by who. Hmm.
Wait, what?
It was
they think.
one of the members
So,
of the
but
band and
that's-
2 other
there
people
are
that could have
never
possibly
time.
stolen it.
So,
So,
okay. What else? What else is up,
Yeah.
Zach?
yeah, we're never telling that story.
So,
All right, moving on to the.
so
oh,
you know,
yeah.
actually, I put this down, and I think that what is up satiated my need
Let's
for what
do
is
it.
up. I think we
Okay.
can actually skip over this and go straight
In lieu
to,
of
straight to the joke
Drew's
of the week.
shitty
Oh,
joke
yeah.
last week, which we all
Kick it off,
sincerely
Bear.
apologized for. For those of you who are still listening
God.
after hearing that
It's
joke,
an
I
instant
appreciate it.
classic, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Instant
guys,
classic.
Guys. Can we take 1 second? Can we just do 5 straight seconds of booze? for Drew on
Boo
3?
this man.
1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Boo!
So, all right.
Boo.
In commemoration
Boo.
for
Boo.
Drew's shitty joke.
Boo.
Dude, my
I
joke
would
was
like to
so
ask you,
good.
gentlemen, what's brown
Okay, we're
and
good.
sticky?
Oh god.
Resin.
I know a lot of things that are brown and sticky.
It's a stick.
Oh shit. How grotesque, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh shit.
I found that on the back.
Oh, but that
of
one's
Laffy
funny.
Taffy.
Yeah. It makes sense. You can understand the punchline.
Okay, so
Nice.
you are-
I know where to get my
you were
jokes
blocked
now
on
on.
here's my
Twitter
real
before
joke.
finish
You guys
that.
ready?
Oh, Drew, you don't even.
So
Dude, you
dude
don't
is
have to worry about
driving
jokes anymore.
downtown.
You
He's
can
going
pay
to
for
pick
it.
up a prostitute. He rolls up to
Yeah.
this chick and he's like, "Hey, how much for a hand job?" And she's like, $600. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "That's way too much." She goes, "Oh no, I give great hand jobs." She goes, "See that car over there? Maserati parked down the street." He goes, yeah." She goes, "I paid for that with my hands." He's like, okay. So he goes back with her and pays $600, gets a hand job. Best he's ever had, best he ever will have. A week later, he's driving back downtown. He's like, "Man, I want to find that chick again. I got to get some head." Rolls downtown and sees her again. And he says, "Hey, how much for a blowjob?" She goes, $1,500. He goes, "Holy shit, that's absurd. That's way too much for some head." She goes, "Yeah, but see that house over there? I paid for that with my mouth." And he goes, "Okay, this bitch buying a whole fucking house just from blowjob profit. I gotta have me that." Pays the $1,500, gets the head, best he's had, best he ever will have. Right? So now he's fucking frantic the next week. He's like, it's like fucking him up. He's like, "I gotta get some of that. Like, I gotta go down there. I gotta go all the way with this chick. It's unbelievable." So he drives down, finds her. I need to have sex with you. I don't care how much it is. I need sex." She goes, "See that bank over there?" He goes, Yeah, I get that. Yeah, you paid for it with your pussy. I get it. She goes, "No, I'd buy that bank if I had a pussy."
Oh!
Oh! Wow.
God.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hate it.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Good job. I mean, it wasn't anything compared to mine, but it was pretty good.
Oh man. That's a good one. That's good.
Yeah.
It's way better than
That-
Dream.
It was.
Yeah,
it,
I mean, I
it
think-
was.
I think
Bro,
we can
you
all
all give me a
agree.
lot of hate, but it was pretty good.
I think
If
we
you
can
haven't
all
heard it,
agree.
definitely go
That's
check
why
out the
we
last
give you
episode.
the hate, because it was
no,
bad.
no, it's
We can
it's
all agree
until
that Drew has been
it's until
officially
me and
banned
Zach
from giving
lose.
jokes.
Oh, no, no, no,
200
no,
pounds.
no. I meant to tell the
Definitely.
joke like that.
And yeah,
Yeah, we get until we
There
get
you
up to
go.
200 pounds.
Yeah. So I'll be telling my
Hitler
joke by the
comes
end of the
back
month.
from his grave
Thanks, guys.
yes.
to challenge Walt Disney to a 1v1 game of fisticuffs.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd pay to watch that.
Yes, I would actually pay to watch it. I'm actually kind of bummed that will never happen.
Oh, all right,
Yes.
guys. I think that's all the time we have for this week. So, I mean, unless Zach wants to get
Yeah,
what he's going to
good.
say.
No, I was just saying the only way it could possibly happen is if Josh does marry Walt Disney's daughter, gets Walt Disney's cryogenically frozen body, is
Yeah.
able to unfreeze him, and that's as far as I got to the equation.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Well,
so-
Yeah.
on that note, that is all the time we have for this week.
Solve for what?
Thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. All the support you guys give us. So be sure to follow us if you haven't on our Facebook, Breaker19 podcast. We'll also leave a link down below. Leave a like on this. Be sure to share with all your
We
friends.
appreciate all of
Let
you
them
listeners.
know about all the
too,
shenanigans
by the
that
way.
goes on here. Make sure they know that. Yes.
And Josh-
make sure,
Absolutely.
Make sure they know that Bear and Drew suck at trivia and that
Josh and I
LSD
have
is the
big ol'-
true hero.
Josh and I have
So-
big ol' hang down wieners.
So until next week, guys. This is Soggy Boy.
This is Papa Bear.
This is Foxy Rabbit.
This is Kidwonder.
Signing off.
Fuck Fanta!
For Breaker 19!